brings you in today?
I'm here because I work at a place where you have to give presentations, and I've noticed that I have been very anxious before publicly speaking. Um,
Okay, and have you always had this fear?
I think I have before, but it hasn't been as severe as it is now. I think that I find myself being very nervous before speaking to people in like a large group. Um, I start getting like sweaty hands, and um, I stumble with my words. So yeah, I think it has become a more severe now where I feel like at times I won't be able to get through it.
So what I'm gathering is that this has always affected you.
I think so. I think that when I was in school, I would feel like anxiety before it was my turn in speaking in class. So I think that I would overthink things or kind of like replay things in my head because I didn't want to like sound like I didn't know what I was saying. So I've always kind of like overthought about things when speaking in public, but I think that now it's become a lot more severe because I feel like the physical symptoms of it.
Okay, I understand this fear. I think, in fact, most people do have some anxiety when they go to public speak. So I don't think that you're alone when it comes to this topic.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of people do experience this. I feel like I I'm experiencing it a lot more now. So even though I feel like a lot of people experience it, I think that my concern is that it's become heightened more than before. So even though I know that I've always kind of had like fear of public speaking, it's changed now where I feel like before I could control it, but now I feel like I can't control it as much, like the anxiety behind it.
Okay. So, how is it that you would actually like to appear to the people that you're presenting to?
I would like to feel like people think I'm confident when speaking, because then they would think that I'm saying factual things or like I'm knowledgeable in the things that I'm presenting. And if I'm feeling nervous, then I might not seem as credible or as confident in the things that I'm saying. So I kind of want to seem confident and know what I'm saying, and then kind of like leave the people that I'm presenting to with like the good information, and also with kind of like seeing that this confident person is giving them a presentation so that they trust me to ask questions or kind of like build a relationship afterwards.
Okay, so it sounds like you want to seem very comfortable in front of the crowd. It sounds like you want to be able to convey the message appropriately without them seeing your symptoms. So you want them to be able to retain and get all of the information without feeling distracted by your physical reactions.
Yeah, I think that I want them to not really pay attention to my nervousness or not really pay attention. Like I don't want to be nervous so that that comes out. So English is my second language, and I feel like I'm able to speak one on one with people really well. And but I think that I mispronounce words sometimes when I'm doing presentations, or um, like I get short of breath, or like my mouth gets really dry, and so I feel like I'm not able to get through the whole presentation as comfortably or as smoothly as I would want to get through it. And so like I don't want people to like think about my symptoms. I want them to think about like the information that I'm presenting.
Okay. Do you feel that you are being analyzed by the crowd?
Um, I mean, I feel like to a degree, like when people present, like, I mean, when people have presented to me before, I feel like I kind of like watch what they do. So in turn, I think that when I present, people are looking at me from head to toe and kind of like making their own judgments and having their own perceptions of me. But I think that before, like when I've seen people that are confident present, like regardless of what they look like physically, if they look like confident or know what they're talking about, I'm really paying attention to the information. So I don't want my symptoms to distract from what I'm saying. So yeah, like I don't want people to look at the symptoms of anxiety and come out of that presentation thinking about, okay, the presenter like was super nervous, I don't even know what she was talking about.
I understand where you're coming from. I think that your job means a lot to you and you want to be able to do a good job, and it sounds like you really value what you do. Um, do you think that this is something that you can work through with practice?
Yeah, I think so. I think that in my job, like information changes all the time. So I think it's hard for me sometimes because like information changes. So like as much as you practice, like there's still always new information that you have to learn. And it's tough when other people, when they're presenting, like my coworkers, for example, they seem a lot more confident when they're presenting the information. So whether they make a mistake or not, like they just recover a lot smoother, or they just I feel like they're more confident in their presentation. So like that's also something that it's in the back of my head. Like if we're presenting together, like I want to make sure that I am equally as confident when presenting. So yeah, I think that I could practice and I could prepare better in before presenting. But I feel like the information always changes. So even in remembering all the information, even when I remember all the information, I feel like there's still a certain fear of like messing up, and not um, feeling confident about what I'm saying.
So it sounds like your main concern is that because there's constant information